Hello, everybody. Welcome back for some more AI Limit. I know we're having to sit here through a loading screen. That's obviously off to a good start. I was trying to do this as I think it only took me like a minute, and I just started blurbing out shit that was completely stupid. So instead of just cutting it out, I just said screw it. We'll just start over from the branch. We'll just exit main menu, whatever. Anyway, yeah, we're back with some more, and yeah, it looks like okay. I hopped on the elevator, that's what I did, and then I left the game, so. We are now, I think, 2 main bosses down. Because, we've at least finished off, 3 or 4 actual regular bosses. But I want to say in terms of main bosses, I think that's what we've done. To be fair, there are optional bosses in this game too, of course. But I think quite a lot of them tend to be kind of just mandatory anyway. But I'm kind of thinking of it like in the same regard of like Bloodborne, I guess. But then again, with Bloodborne, it's just most of the main bosses are pretty, well, somewhat obvious, I guess, to an extent. Like Gascoigne leading you to another area, that kind of thing. So, all right, big giant tower there, which I forget what that even was, to be honest with you. If we can go there. Wait a minute. Do we have to teleport down? I could have sworn there was stuff we can pick up here, but I guess not. I think we're just going to have to teleport out. Okay, well. First time we get to see one of these void puddles, I think. It has been a bit since I've actually recorded this. Not because of a lack of enjoyment of it by any means. It's just that I've been trying to get caught up on just everything else currently. One of those things also happens to be Uncharted 1 on Hardcore, and I started getting back into that again and doing those. And I remember, I think at one point I said that, I wasn't really having too much fun with Uncharted 1. I mean, I was having a bit of fun, but then I get to a certain part, a certain chapter, I'm like, I don't, it's not hitting, I guess. And then I just started playing it again, and it worked. So, yeah, that was quite nice. I forget, are there any gunmen here? I don't think so. Not right now. I think that's in an area way after this. So these guys, usually you could just bully them with 3 hits, like I do here. Especially if you're just going to be playing the same sword that I'm playing. By the way, this will possibly be a pretty boring series to watch for those that are interested in seeing me try things. As in, utilizing different weapons and stuff, because when I get comfortable with something, it just ends up being the saw cleaver all over again. So, yeah. If you come down here, there's going to be a slight little mini-boss, but you're also going to be getting shot at the same time. So this is definitely a case of, watch your ass. Because, okay, yeah, I'm just fucking up already. Look, like I said, it's been a bit since I've done this. I say mini-boss, it's just more so he's just a big tanky guy. That's about it, really. I think we fought one of these before, haven't we? Shit. Okay, yeah, I don't even have, I don't even have parry. I do now, but... Fuck. I am so sorry. I'm way out of my ability to play, I guess. Apparently. That's why these things, you kind of have to play them over and over and over again before you just kind of get back into the groove of it, though. It takes a bit, but once you play it just for days on end straight, you eventually get to it. Oh, by the way, these guys cause poison. And poison sucks. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that, but yeah, poison is annoying. There are items, of course, that we can use to get rid of it or to slow it down, that kind of thing, but... Usually when it comes to this game, for me, I don't really care too much about getting poisoned. Because if I ever do get poisoned, I could just teleport back to a branch and just not really care. Sorry if I sound like I'm out of it. I actually did work today. However, this is not my first recording of the day. I was actually working on the Uncharted 1 videos. Mainly just recording gameplay for it. God damn it. Oh yeah, I forgot he can do that. Whatever. There. Yeah, I remember when I first came here, to this specific area. I remember getting dicked on by that guy. I could have sworn... Yeah, there they are. Okay. She has, she's casting swords. And now that I know what they are, now I know what these types of enemies are in general, I kind of understand how they work, and I can avoid most of the crap. This, I think, is just a side quest thing. You can just go bring this to the girl, and she'll be like, oh, thanks. So, and, you know, I don't remember how... Like, I'm not even sure remotely about most of the side quest stuff. They never really seemed it was too difficult to do. I just don't know dead offhand everything. So it's one of those things where I'm probably going to end up either accidentally missing a side quest or just completely fudging it up altogether. But this game feels like it's a bit more lenient about side quest anyway. Because I don't ever get the feeling that I've screwed up too bad, you know? Because I think it's just more so like a case of go talk to this person, and then they'll say like, hey, go give me an item. And then you do all that stuff before endgame. I guess in this case you do it before Lost Kid. And then when you do that, then it's like, okay, cool. Also, this is, I think, one of the few times where this is not a shortcut that it leads to. It's just a door that can just be opened. And sometimes, and honestly a lot of the time, you end up actually doing that. I kind of forgot what place was this called again, because I keep forgetting to come back here to check on things. Because I think you have to come back here to give that guy some stuff, I think. Are we watching cutscenes? No, I don't think we are. That's for, I believe, only just Uncharted that I'm doing it. You know what, let's get some health up. Because why not? Alright, real quick, let's check the map, see if she says anything. Because I think we have to technically meet these people first. Oh, he's... Okay. I might have some stuff. Yep. I was just curious about... Because, like, the thing is that you can't really talk to them. And he says something like an apprentice. I think he's talking about Otto. Which I forget if Otto is even the guy that is at the campsite. I don't remember. Because there's a trophy that you have to get all these different notes or whatever. Or I think codex or something like that. I forget what it was. And they got to give it to him. Yeah, I think I did the same thing last time where I was just like, I talked to her or whatever, and then she was like, alright, well, thanks, leave me alone. Hey, that's just a note, it's nothing. God, my brain is just fucking hurting right now. Like a slight bit, not too much, but just a slight bit. So I actually might not record 2 videos. I was kind of planning on that, but I think 1 video is probably enough. Just get rid of him, because, you know, fuck him. Yeah, of course, machine gun guys, but you should be able to parry, actually. Because for the most part, you can parry just about everything in this game as long as you, well, you know, get the timing down and don't fuck it up like I do there. I mean, look at, you know, I'm not necessarily tanky, but I'm definitely okay when it comes to health-wise. God, look at me. I'm just fucking everything up. I think it's because, like, I'm trying too hard to focus on stuff that I don't need to be. I think that's what happened when I was doing, oh, god damn it, what was it? Yeah, I remember I wanted to do Postal Brain Damage, actually, for hardcore, and I wanted to do Postal Mode, or difficulty, which I have beaten before. I've beaten all of them. Well, I mean, as in, like, I've beaten all the episodes, all that stuff on Postal. I should technically have some proof, I think, but I don't remember if they show that or not. Or they got rid of it, one of the two. I don't know. Either way, I have done it, but it was just like when I went to go and be like, you know, I'm going to try this, and I started recording for it. I kept fudging up my parries, like, all the time, and I just felt stupid, and like I wasn't qualified to play the game on a harder setting, which is funny because parry is good, though. But for Postal Brain Damage, I mean, it's not inherently necessary, and I wish I would have known that before. It does help out big time, though. But I think for, like, a game like this, They do make it very abundantly clear that you don't need to parry because you have like 4 or 3 other movesets that you can acquire. There's like 4 in total. Like we have the parry, the shield, and then the necro thing. And I forgot the last one was, to be honest. But still, though, you get like 4 different arm things that you can use. So it's just basically, do you want to be more aggressive? Do you want to be more defensive with shield and just actually play like, maybe like a Dark Souls style, quote unquote, which, unlike Bloodborne, is technically supposed to be an effective shield. And then, I remember dying here, actually, I think like once or twice. It's just a little robot guys explode, and they're really annoying. And they got this guy that flies around. And he's also quite annoying. But luckily this game's, unfortunately, sometimes too easy. So you can just pretty much just bash him until he's dead and he's gone. For some reason, it's taking me about 4 hits to kill now. So either they're getting upgraded or my damage is... Okay, yeah. Might just be certain specific enemies that do that. I think this leads to a shortcut. Maybe. I don't know. I doubt it. But either way, yeah. The third one was the Necro thing, which gives you like that extra ghost attack thing that I guess you can argue that's more of like an aggressive gameplay situation. So they have at least, for the most part, 4 different ways you can technically play the game with your arm, which is neat. And then I guess if you really wanted to qualify it, you could also say... Actually, hold on, is this any... If it has more defense, I could put it on. More fire defense, more so than anything. I'm more specifically interested in doing, like... just physical defense. That's more of my category for this game. Okay, I think that was... I believe that all... Okay, yeah, I think it just led strictly, mostly, maybe just to a extra little spot of interest. More so than... Yeah, because see, this just wraps around back to here. So no shortcut, but we still got a fire equip or fire item, basically. Nothing back there, I don't think. But yeah, I was doing a lot of Mario Odyssey there for a bit. That took over quite a number of stuff, not gonna lie. And then I was able to inch in like an Uncharted 4 video, I mean. So I was able to get that going. So AI Limit unfortunately has definitely took quite a... The fuck? It definitely has took quite a back seat to pretty much just about everything. That's gonna happen. And right now, currently, I think I've decided that no more Let's Plays for a while. Like, I had a good few in mind, like Infamous 2. I've thought about this one for fucking ages now, but I every time I'm about to go do it, I'm like, no, I can't. Now is not the time to do it. Like, it's too late to do it. But Ninja Gaiden Black, because I have done Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1, and I've always wanted to kind of go back and do Black, but I might save Black specifically for hardcore stuff instead, maybe. Black 2, same way. I might just, and same like OG, I might just save that for hardcore content. And Yaiba as well for hardcore. I don't think... I'm not sure if it would make a good Let's Play thing here, because I feel like Ninja Gaiden, even though it's pretty popular on my channel, has always been one of those ones where like I feel like hardcore, I think specifically, makes more sense. Not that I can't do it, it's just that whenever I think about doing it, I'm like, eh. Actually, same thing with Lollipop Chainsaw. Like, I feel like Lollipop Chainsaw is just not really a good Let's Play game either. It's just one of those where I did on hardcore, and I think that's about it. And honestly, weirdly enough, No More Heroes, same thing. I think there's, like, this... Did I say Infamous 2 was one of those? I think I did. Infamous 2 has been in the back of my head for ages as well. Hell, technically Banjo has too, but honestly, I'm not vibing with Banjo anymore. Like, that game is making me very angry, and it's like, eh. More angry than Uncharted 4, so... I mean... Crash 4. And if you make me more angry playing you than Crash 4, I think we might have a problem on our hands. at that point. But yeah, I've been in such a Ninja Gaiden mood because, well, obviously Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming out very soon. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. To the point where I've already basically pre-ordered it, so... Unfortunately, I pre-ordered through GameStop. But it's one of those things where... I feel like if I pre-ordered... through, like, Amazon, you know, I just don't want to wait, like, an extra couple... I know it's stupid. First world shit, I know, but it's one of those things where, like, I don't want to wait, like, an extra couple days just to play the damn game. Not that I can't. I want to make that very clear. I do have the ability to have some patience. Like, I can wait. Like, for example, like, if Silent Hill happens to come out, which I think it does come out probably when I'm at work. Maybe. But if I'm at work and it comes out, it's like, well, I gotta wait all day at work. And then I'll go pick it up. You know, not a big deal. And then once Silent Hill comes out, I'm pretty much just gonna be radio silent. You might possibly see some content, but don't expect it to be something that I did right then and there either. Because a lot of this stuff you guys won't get to see until I think this episode, you guys might not get to see this until like Friday, give or take. I think that sounds about right. Here it is, antidote. There. Just to, you know, I'm being kind of dumb. Not gonna lie, I'm not playing this game to the best of my ability here. So that's gonna happen. But yeah, as much as it does kind of pain me just a small bit to kind of take a break from Let's Playing after all is said and done, of course. I'm not just gonna stop halfway. Crash 4 might be one of those things where I do that for. Maybe. I might just be like, you know what? I've done it. I've done my fair share. I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, take the break now. Or whatever. And by the way, it's mostly just going to affect Let's Plays for like a little bit. Well, I say that. I don't know how... Okay, I don't really know how long I'll be gone from Let's Plays. Because I have all those different ideas. And then I have hardcore and stuff I want to work on too, and stuff potentially, hopefully, on the outside of YouTube. So maybe I can get caught up, you know, back with that stuff and get that stuff done too. And just, you know, real life, in general stuff, I guess. Because I hate to admit it, but Let's Plays do take up quite a considerable amount of time. But that's kind of my fault for just trying too hard to make too much content and get it done, so... There's no one else to blame but me. And that's the thing, that's another problem with me, though, is like as soon as I start getting started with one thing, I can get kind of addicted to it pretty quick. And it's just like, yeah, I just want to keep going and want to keep doing more games and then more and more. And maybe one day, you know, we'll get to doing the other Ninja Gaiden content, maybe even 4 at some point, who knows. I would like to see me do Ninja Gaiden 4 on Hardcorean, if anything. Preferably. Just because I think it'd be kind of cool. Like, what if I end up beating Master Ninja Mode or something, you know? I mean, it's a Platinum... It's being made by Platinum Games, so there's a high chance that its hard difficulty won't be... Okay, well, let me put it this way. If we're talking, like, New Age Platinum Games, there's a high probability that their difficulty won't be that crazy. They used to be pretty good at that stuff, about making their games even somewhat difficult, but then they started kind of falling with it, and it's hard to say, like, not really falling, but more so that they just kept like roller coaster their difficulty. It was really weird, because like Transformers Devastation on Prime, if you don't play Transformers Devastation a lot, it's quite difficult. But when you realize how, or when you know how to play the game, and you do like 6 campaign runs of it on Prime, like a madman, That's shameless plug in there for you. That was like my big hardcore project, was doing 6 campaigns. I would do all 5 characters by themselves on Prime, and then for like the last one, I would do all 5 characters together in one campaign, where I would just switch off every checkpoint, or whenever the game forces me to switch, which I think was a cool idea. And you know, we did get it done, which is kind of neat. No new project ideas yet, besides just a bunch of different possible games I could end up doing. And it seems like I might have to do a few of them myself. Of course. I mean, most of the games I do in hardcore I do myself. I don't know what I'm talking about. What I meant to say was I'm going to have to learn a lot of stuff about a lot of games that I either never played yet, or if I want to do this whole, you know, shebang of cool ideas for games for hardcore in this year into next year for Gen 3, I think we're on right now. Which is baffling, because I keep thinking we're on Gen 4, and it's like, we're not. I'm only up to 3 generations worth of hardcore content, which is crazy. And that's also my pride and joy, by the way. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I love my Turd Monkey channel. If I ever lost it, I would go fucking apeshit, because losing a channel like this would just fucking suck. Massive dong. Because I have so many videos of my likes, so many different playlists of different things. Like, to an extent, I keep saying like all the time. That's just my thing, though. To an extent, if I lost my entire history of Let's Plays, there is a part of me that is just pretty much just, you know, what can you do at that point? But even then, still, it's still quite a considerable history of stuff I've done. And it would really kind of suck, especially for very, very specific videos in question, I guess. Like the ones that I edit more so than just Let's Plays. Because I feel like, to an extent, Let's Plays, you know, they can kind of come and go. And I mean, worst come to worst, just play the games again and then just re-record them that way, or just say fuck it. If I lost hardcore content, then I would, like, that would send me, you know, definitely uphill or whatever. It would just send me into a fucking stir. I'd be very, very, very upset with that. But that's the thing, though. That's the scary part. Is like anything can happen at any point. You know. I'll try this out and see what that does. Never mind. That's for a completely different thing. Well, I assumed that maybe I can use it the same way that I do with these. Who knows? Oh, I know another game I was planning on doing, actually. And I was like, okay. That one I will admit, okay, Infamous 2 might be a little too much. Ninja Gaiden Black is not even really that bad if I did it. Not gonna lie, because I would just skip the cutscenes anyway. It'd be way shorter. And trust me, Black is different enough to do it, so I probably won't do vanilla, but I would just do like Black specifically. For those that want my opinion about Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, I like it. I understand that there are things that, you know, like a lot of fans didn't care for, and that's fine. But I personally did like it, so that's my statement on the matter. I don't really hate it as much. I don't really care either way. I'm just glad we have Ninja Gaiden 2 again, because every time we get it, it's like, alright, time to play it again. Yeah, Infamous 2 is like the big one, but the other game in question was Tomb Raider Anniversary, and that one, you know, I'm not going to say a full no on that one. I have actually wanted to do Tomb Raider, just in general, at some point, because I tried doing that way back in the day, and then that never went to fruition, because I don't remember what it was, like maybe a couple episodes in, I just gave up, which is weird, because I think around the time when I was doing a Let's Play of it, I already beaten the game. So I was already relatively used to everything. And I mean, hell, if I went back to play Tomb Raider 1, even nowadays, I'd probably be okay with handling it. I would assume so. But like Tomb Raider Anniversary is what I usually consider my favorite of the Tomb Raiders, especially even if we're even talking like classic. Well, to be fair, it's not necessarily classic. It's the PS2 era version of it, so it's classic to me in the sense that it's a PS2 game, but it's not the original classics, of course. And out of all the classics, I've only ever beaten one. Because I'm just that bad. Speaking of bad, I do not wish to die here. There we go. I'll teleport back and then I'll go grab... I'm just going to go beat up these guys real quick and then just teleport back. Unless we find a branch over here somehow. Because I would like to go to that portal. I think that portal just doesn't lead us to an actual branch. So... I think it leads me to where I think it leads me to. And I'm just not going to try to mess with it too much. I wouldn't turn you back if I were you. What's some other potential games I thought about doing recently? I don't know. By recently, I mean I've been thinking about these for probably all year, maybe a year plus, something like that. And the reason why I'm bringing them up now is because we're getting close to the end of my quote-unquote Let's Play marathon, so I'm going to start kind of, you know, slowing down on those for a bit so I can focus on other stuff. And then when I come back, possibly, maybe, hopefully do that hardcore and marathon stream idea I had too. That's still there, folks. That's still in the back of my mind of something I do kind of want to do, but I get the horrid feeling that if I do actually leave on hiatus for Turd Monkey and I come back, especially with just a stream, it's like, oof. I think I'd probably have to do like maybe 1 or 2 Let's Plays before I just get the handle on things again and just be like, okay, I can do this now. Or just ball it, you know. Always could just technically just do that instead. Just say fuck it and just go. But I do have to take that hiatus regardless. That's planned to happen no matter what. But this little area here should lead you to like a boss area. If it's the one I'm thinking of, I think so. Okay, I'm not gonna waste a dew just because I got hit once. My problem is I can't use it because it's not active. I see. So that was a waste of time. That's the wrong one. But there you go. There's the potential thoughts and plans for right now of what's going on. Nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting, but hey. At least we all know what goes on through my little tiny brain. Alright, so now we get to meet her for the first time. And I think okay, so I'm going to spoil a little bit further ahead here. I'll spoil a little bit ahead here, but you can actually use her as an assist in a fight later on. And I will probably just go ahead and do that anyway. I know to some people it's like that's kind of lame because it's pretty much just at that point she's pretty much just a summon. Because you don't really have summons in this game. You just get like these partners that tend to kind of just show up and help you in a fight, which as far as I'm aware has only ever happened maybe one time. And I think it's just her. I think she's the only one I've ever seen help me in a fight once. So I'm gonna guess there's probably not very many that do. We can upgrade once. Okay. Yeah. Going back to strength once again. I want to get my strength to maybe like 30 or something and then start maybe working on technique that way. Because eventually it's going to start slowing down a little bit in terms of getting stuff out of it. That just kind of happens with any Souls game. Except this one's a little bit, I feel like, nicer in pretty much just every regard. Oh yeah. I think I came down here to check this. Just to get an idea what's over here. Just activate, douche. Okay. Envenomed Blade. So basically, this is just pretty much just a poison blade. I mean, I think it just does the same thing that everything else, like your main blade does. And for the most part, even has like somewhat of the same attack too. And I assume that you can't equip two of the same weapon types at once, it seems. Alright. That guy's to the right, and then that I think is main progress, yes. If you see a zip line going down, then that means that's, well, you can only just go down. It can never really go back up. I was hoping I'd get these guys knocked off. Honestly, there's no reason for me to fight them whatsoever. Especially if I have that asshole who's just shooting at me all the time. I could just do this. No, never mind. Yeah, make sure you dodge that too, because it will hurt. It will blow up, and it will sting, and it will suck. Now it's funny, like I keep seeing like a bunch of mud balls. I'm like, God damn it, I keep getting so many mud balls. And I keep forgetting that, yeah, they are actually kind of nice to have. I mean, you can always make more. You can always buy more too, I think. So it's not like you'll ever, never have a chance to heal in this game. Which, by the way, can I just say that the whole life do thing is such a nice thing to have. Thank God for that. Because if we didn't have that, fuck. Pretty much just Estus Flask. I'm so glad that Dark Souls gave us that tool. I love Demon Souls to death, but I think a lot of the reason why Grass even works is because of the simple fact that Demon Souls is so easy to play that you don't really need to worry about healing too much. When you start kind of learning the game, it's like, oh, okay, this is not too bad. And then even then, if you want more Grass, you can just go find Patches and buy it from him. And God forbid if you don't find Patches on your first playthrough, because like you're like, you know, like anybody's gonna know. There's still just opportunities to get health, and then if you really truly wanted to, you can always just reset at that point if it's that bad. And like I said, this is just my own reasoning, but I find Demon Souls to be quite easy in comparison to like Dark Souls and stuff, because yeah, I mean, even still nowadays, I've only ever beaten Dark Souls like one time, which is just absolute heresy, I know, but either way, yeah, there's that. Oh yeah, speaking of, I mentioned Crash earlier, like Crash 4. I'm not sure if I want to do a whole, complete, and total start over of it, but I would like to try to get some Crash Twin Insanity going back on again, because that's been one I've been wanting to do for a while. And somewhat of a spoiler alert. Kind of. I think I talked about this before already, but doing some Donkey Kong content with my brother, because we've never done Donkey Kong Country as a Let's Play together that I know of. And apparently I'm not allowed to do Donkey Kong Country again if I've already done it with somebody beforehand, so I have to go find somebody else to do it with. Because, you know, doing it again is just fucking pathetic, and I'll stop. I gotta stop doing that shit. I gotta stop getting all pissy about dumb shit. But I'm just saying, you know, I've done plenty of DK content, I guess. Too much to the point where I think it's You know, people probably have found it stale, but I want to keep doing it. God damn it! I like my DK countries. What's wrong with playing DK country over, you know? But that was an idea. Was like, hey, what if we do that at some point? Like we just say screw it. Oh yeah. By the way, these guys, real quick. Kill them and you get some stuff. Well, once they fall off and die, you just pick it up anyway. Watch out for the 2 snipers up top. There you go, yeah. Yeah, one thing I need to truly work on, just say that out loud now, is just... I gotta work on my raginess, you know? Stop getting so... Like, just stop putting up with stupid shit, I guess, and getting mad at stupid shit. But that's kind of hard to do sometimes. And what's funny is, I mean, like, my Let's Plays, you can even tell... I mean, sometimes I do rage, quote-unquote. But I will, most of the time, tell you if I'm actually genuinely serious or not. But a lot of the time... just kind of expect most of it to be a little exaggerated for just comedic effect, because to an extent I do kind of find people raging funny, but only if I know that they're not actually mad. I think finding people that are actually mad, not really that funny. But if they're just, you know, joking around and pretending to be mad or something, that's one thing, I guess. I guess it also depends too, because I've seen plenty of those cringe videos where people are just angry at whatever. That just leads you back to the... I'm not going to fuck with these guys. I'm not going to fuck with all that. Not this time around. I did that my first playthrough. I'm not going to bother with it. Especially when I'm so close to the branch. It just doesn't really feel like it's worth doing. There should be... Yeah, here it is. Something out here. But yeah, you know, if you let your rage get to you, you know, it's never a good thing. I totally forgot to go buy shit at the other store. I think the other store did have stuff. Like, I can check real quick. I mean, it's not like it's a big deal, but I'll put... Yes, it's weaker, but I think we'd all appreciate, you know, the outfit just a little bit, not gonna lie, so I think it's worth putting it on for just a tiny bit. But I do like having my defense, so enjoy it while you can, and then we can get a possible sneak peek. Can't. Oh yeah, the partner. So I think this was one of the first bosses I actually beat in one go. Maybe? I don't know. Probably not. No, I don't think so. There was one that there was like one or maybe 2 of them I actually killed in one go. But these guys I think end up showing up as main, or just little tiny mini bosses anyway. So they're just kind of nothing. Yeah, they're nothing. I'm here getting my ass whooped. Yeah. There you go. You can parry that. Fuck. No electric slam thing? That's kind of weird. Like, you would honestly think that there would be one right after. I think the only reason why he's quote-unquote difficult in comparison to his counterparts that you face later is because he does have a phase 2. So I think that's the only reason why I would argue that he's even remotely challenging. There. Easy. So that's where you get that scythe from. I was like, where the fuck did we get the scythe at? Like, I remember the partner being a thing, and I forgot that you get him from a boss. Well, there's your answers. Isn't it... Real quick, like, my happy-go-lucky mood I had for Mario Odyssey, which I think at this point, you guys might see this before Mario Odyssey is done. But I think I already spoiled it anyway. Also, something I forgot to talk about. For the thumbnails, I am doing these. I'm testing some things out with them. As you probably noticed, there is no number in the thing. That is actually on purpose. I know it sounds like total cope, and it's like, no, you're fucking lying at your teeth. I could see it right through your fucking brown crooked buck tooth that you're just lying right through it. I promise you, I'm not. There is actually a point to this, a point to the no numbered Let's Plays, and like I said, I'm trying something out. I'm trying something different and see what works for me, basically. This should not affect you guys. I mean, of course, I'm sure to some slight extent it probably will, because it's like some people might be like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, how do I know what number you're on besides looking at the title? Because, you know, when you're looking on YouTube, you look at the thumbnail, and that usually gives you an indication of, okay, I know where he's at, I know what number he's on, you know, that kind of thing. So it is slightly unfair to possibly just people, or just even newer people in general, too. And I get that, you know, I get that, but it's just something I think that looks cool, and that's pretty much the only reason I'm doing it for. And honestly, I'm getting kind of tired of just doing numbers shit. Unless it's for something specific, like Hardcorian, then it's pretty much practically required at that point. But I think for Let's Plays, you know, having just a thumbnail with the title just looks kind of cool. So I hope my reasoning was good enough to specify why I do the shit that I do. But also, technically, if I wanted to, I could just make these videos longer. We don't have to do just 45 minutes, but then again, you know, 45 minutes is still pretty good time when it comes to a Souls game, I guess, or just anything for that matter. We should... I could have sworn we should have, like, more dew we can have equipped right now. Also, what's crazy, I got one whole video basically done, and already it's only just like fucking 6:30. I got off work early today. They let me out on good behavior. No, but wait, what the fuck? But I cultivated the... Wait, why can't I... Okay. Also, did we get more... Yeah. Conversion. Sure, I'll put on the St. Grant one. Why not? What's the mainsail we can change out? Let's see. Well, it looks like there's more purple to this one, actually. But less stability. That's just the standard seal. This one comes at least, you know, 5 different slots. That one might still be better just to have... Oh, man, this sucks. I hate to end it here, but I do have like a tiny, slight little, tiny headache. It's one of those where it'll just go away tomorrow, I know, but still. I think we should definitely end off the episode soon. I hate to do that, like I said, but this is unfortunately one of those things where it might be for the best I do it before I get too attached to the game again, because we all know how I am with this type of stuff. And I will keep going for days on end if I can. And I think for my brain's sake, I probably should just end it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time for some more AI Limit. I think I'm going to upload these probably somewhere interspersed between, you know, just like Mario Odyssey basically, so you guys don't get stuck with just nothing but that. But anyway, yeah, that's it. So take care, everybody.